Cancorla, back in 1996, when I was commencing my degree in journalism, one of the lectures we had to take under the photojournalism module was learning how to develop our own pictures in a darkroom. And within a short space of time of actually passing that exam, digital cameras had become the norm, darkrooms were no more, photo film companies were going out of business, and I was left with a skill that was effectively redundant. Within another short space of time, online platforms were gaining a stronghold when it came to the presentation of news, and following on from that, the advent of social media with Facebook and Twitter. I mention all of these things, Cancorla, because the amazing technological changes that happened in a very short window of time changed forever the traditional structures that existed for centuries through the traditional print media, and also changed how news was presented and effectively eroded the foothold of print media. What was also eroded, though, were the standards in reporting, because instead of journalists who had been trained in college or in the field reporting, everyone walking down the street now saw themselves as a journalist. And the lightning pace of change has also taken its toll on even traditional television stations, and I've discussed this with the Minister already in terms of how people choose different platforms on which to gain information and entertainment. But despite the huge differences between traditional print media, traditional TV platforms and social media, the one common denominator they all share is advertising. And of course, the financial survival of all media, whether it be print, TV or social media, is advertising, because if you can't pay the bills, then you don't have a viable media organ. And in that respect, social media is king. But the need for transparency and authenticity here is essential. And the political world is not exempt from the impact that this is happening. And we have two key concerns here tonight, Cancorla. One, as Deputy McSharry has said, the government using this highly influential platform to peddle spin, which they're passing off as some kind of information, brought to you beyond Taoiseach, on planes, trains and automobiles, the sequel. And two, the issue of manipulation of this platform in terms of bots that could distort political facts. And we've had examples of during the US presidential election, where one Russian company used 470 fake accounts to buy approximately $100,000 worth of political advertising, which were styled to look like the work of American activists. And of course, in Ireland, we've had an attack on our own presidential election in terms of fake tweets as well, and how that distorted a campaign as well. And as Deputy Lawless has said, people are very conscious in upcoming campaigns of how the same thing could happen again on very hot political issues. So the bill that Deputy Lawless has brought forward, and I commend him on it, has very strict areas in which it is dealing with in terms of the transparency around paid political advertising and the use of bots. Now, there are other areas beyond this that I would like to see tackled later on in terms of the protection of the traditional forms of media, and I've said this already to you, Minister, because you might ask, so what if the other strands die? Sure, industries involved, things change, and as long as we're getting what we want, who really cares what platform is presented on? Well, I care. I care about traditional print media, be it national or indeed my local media such as the Meath Chronicle or the Drogheda Independent Group, where I worked for a decade as well. But if all we're getting is Donald Trump's spin in a form of government spin on one hand and a plethora of loonies spouting garbage on the other hand, we're not going to live in a very media-friendly world. Thank you, Cancorla.